This is 365 Sports, powered by Sikkim365.com. Welcome to the Triple Option. Here's your host, Paul Catalina.
Have we started? I have no audio, Garrett. None. There we go.
That is awesome.
Sorry. It's 1 o'clock and Pierre's right there. I was just sitting, I was like looking off. That didn't really look shitty. Like starting out, just me like looking off in the distance. I don't even really.
In fairness, that's typically the look you have, 6 days out of the week, I'd say.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Just, I'm being contemplative.
You're
Pierre.
deep in thought. You're a man with many thoughts and
Yeah.
many ideas, and some people just don't understand the delicate genius that you are.
Thank you, Pierre. Thank you.
Yeah.
That is the sign of a true friend there. That when one of us screws up the opening of the podcast, the other one says, look, no, there's a good reason for that.
Absolutely. No,
Yeah.
Nothing is by accident. People think it's like, oh, you messed up. No, that was completely by design, and partially because, you have so many things on your plate at the same time that there needs to be a little bit of a grace in case anybody. There's a grace more towards the people who don't understand what they just saw. So
Exactly.
that's what
Exactly. You will be in my cabinet when I'm elected president.
that kid, this is, trust me, as that'd be a good spot for me because I've told people for years, you don't want to see me in power. Trust me.
Here's the thing. I need people around me who will make the stupid things that I do seem acceptable, because that is the key to success in politics. You are going to do stupid things, and right now our politicians collectively are stupider than they've ever been. So they need people who are smarter than them that work for them, that can try to explain the stupid things they do. But like, no, that thing they did that's really dumb is really about this. And then they're like, see, I knew I was smart.
Even though I've only been in sports media for only 20 years, I've worked in newsrooms. I'm only an arm length away from actual news. I've seen enough White House press secretaries go through enough of this. And I think to myself, boy, I can put a spin on anything. I've learned enough over the 20 years. Let me tell you something. I could spin anything if I really wanted to. So yeah, that I think I would be a great help in your cabinet. I really do.
Yeah, like, look, he was not just looking at his phone at a funny TikTok. He was researching TikTok to make sure that the Chinese are not spying on us.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Anything. I want everybody right now who's watching to understand that over the last, I would say, let's go 12 to 16 years, everything coming out of Washington might as well be telling you the sky is green. They've spent you so much time trying to convince you that the sky is green and that you're the lunatic. That is what has been happening for so long. And it will not I don't expect that to stop anytime soon by any means, but that, trust me, that if you at one point or another, if you've thought to yourself, am I going crazy? No, you're probably not. You were being fed a bunch of garbage for sure.
Yeah, look, I think that there are a lot of great jobs in the world. I think fired college football coach is the number one job.
Yeah.
Because, like, look, Texas A&M is paying Jimbo Fisher $75 million not to coach there. Correct. I could call them up right now and say, look, for $5 million, I'll never set foot on your campus again. As much as it may pain me because I love going to games there, but for $5 million, I'll stay away and I refuse to coach your football team. I think that's a bargain for me not to coach your football team. I mean, they're like,
100%.
Yeah. Another great one is politician, because if you get elected, as long as, you just yell into the void, the right things into that void, I mean, my pockets are going to get lined. It's a really sweet gig. Like, I don't have to be good. Like, I don't have to deliver anything. I don't have to deliver a thing. I just have to say that the reason I can't deliver the thing is someone else's fault.
And how many of them, like, basically automatically, the moment they're elected, you already know that typically translates to an automatic book deal whenever they leave.
Oh,
office.
hey, yeah,
immediately.
No. Look, and here's the thing: my book is going to be juicy as hell. I mean, like I'm not like I won't protect anybody. Like there's no one. I'm just like, hey, guess who's into BDSM very much publicly in his office? This guy. Like no problem saying it.
I've said it for years. If I'm going down, everybody's coming with me.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah,
without question. I will not. I won't save anyone. No.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Pierre, it is CFP week. We are here. I want to talk about the games today. We have a short time with you because you've got to go to a meeting. As you see, you're wearing your Fox 9 shirt. You've got pressing duties in your real job.
I normally don't work on Thursdays during football season, but today is a special circumstance. Carl Anthony Towns is back in town with the New York Knicks, so I was thrown into the fire today, and so off I must go a little bit early, but yeah.
Did you have a good relationship with him when he was here?
I wouldn't say it was a good relationship. I wouldn't say it was a bad relationship. It was a relationship.
Okay.
It was, he and I didn't get off to a great start, admittedly. Over time, I think we were fine. It wasn't anything bad by any means, but I could never just kind of seem to crack the armor that was Carl Anthony Towns.
Well, one of the things that, and I know it helped you get this job in Minneapolis, but when you're in Sacramento, you really had a good rapport with a lot of the Kings. Now, I know that's your childhood favorite basketball team, so there might have been like more like just subconscious level, like, I'm excited to be here. I want nothing but good things for these people because they bring me joy. As opposed to the Timberwolves, which you had no feeling about either way when you took that job, which is actually better professionally.
Yes.
I mean, it's the same way with me and the Cowboys. Like I walk in that Cowboys locker room and my brain can to settle in the center is a hard thing because my brain goes one of two ways. Oh my God, this is so amazing. They're the Cowboys, or you guys are ruining my life right now. Like, you don't understand. Like, you that muffed the punt the other day, I'm talking to you. You made me sad. Like, I know that you made yourself sad, but I'm a selfish person, and I'm only thinking about me, and the thing I like is when you guys win, and I can brag to people who don't like you that they won.
And while I was there, to be honest with you, sometimes I'm too honest, like I'm a little too honest to a fault, and that drew the ire of the Kings front office. I guarantee you, the ownership group did not like me very much, especially with what I had to say about that team in my time there. I had no problem with the players, except for maybe one, but in my time there, Dave Yeager was the head coach when halfway through my tenure there. A little bit of a hard ass, but I mean, I respected it. I was cool with Dave. So, I had no problem with him. But, I'm sure the front office didn't care for me very much with what I had to say on TV.
Yeah, no, I get that, Pierre. You get to go. It's a big news, KAT coming back, there. And if the Wolves win because of this trade, it will be a huge deal. If they don't win, and especially if the Knicks win, it's really going to sting. It's really going to sting. Now, I really do enjoy Jalen Brunson quite a bit. I'll tell you, I love Jalen Brunson. He's the kind of guy that just as an athlete you can get behind because he's just the perfect guy to have on any team. Everybody wants a Jalen Brunson who's not only a star player, but he doesn't have that. He just has the worker bee mentality of He still plays like he's trying to make the team every single day. And that's what I like about him. But I don't have any feelings of warmth or goodness for the Knicks, other than I loved going to MSG the times that I've been there. It's a really amazing venue. But I don't have any, I don't like the Knicks. I don't care about the Knicks. And they have one of the worst owners in sports.
Yeah.
And I think one day, when we're past college football season, we need to go through the worst owners or leaders of programs in sports and just make the list and see where Dolan falls, where Jerry Jones falls right now, where Woody Johnson would fall. I know where John Fisher falls in your mind, and I'm sorry to bring him up this close to Christmas. I know you're trying to be in a good mood.
Who shall not be named.
Yeah. So, that would be a fun topic for you and me to just go through and make the list of this is the Paul and Pierre's you don't deserve your money list. Like you,
I can't wait. I'm going to start writing the list tonight. As a matter of fact, I will
just start going down. Dolan, James Dolan, Woody Johnson. My gosh,
Look, 9 yards.
Here's the thing: Woody Johnson is the heir to Johnson and Johnson fortune. That dude he never made soap. He never did any he never did any of that stuff. His grandfather did. And then he inherited all that money, and that they have tons of money, and then he bought the Jets, and now apparently he's letting his teenage sons make the final decisions on things based on stuff like Madden ratings and DFS and things like that.
How would you feel if you were a Jets fan reading that report today?
I mean, of all the bad things the Jets have done to them, this would feel look, I understand you guys picking the wrong quarterback, or
it'll happen.
It'll happen, or this guy gets hurt, or all this. But when you're little big leaguing the team, little big league in real life, if you're really doing that, and this is why the Jets suck, that to me is painful.
I would hire a friend of mine to film me walking to MetLife Stadium with a baseball bat. And I'm going. If after hearing that, that's it. I'm going. To hell with the consequences. Enough with the suffering. I mean, the suffering is bad enough with blown draft picks, like you say, trades for no reason when you're already 2-8 or 2-5, whatever they were when they traded for Devontae Adams. But that the football part of it, you're going to swing and miss. I think every reasonable fan will understand that. But if I read something like that today about my team, heaven help you. Heaven help you.
Yeah. His sons, one of whose names is Brick,
of course he is,
are sending him fan blogs. Not journalists, that are in the building. Just angry fan blogs.
Yeah.
That is great. And the thing is that Woody Johnson, and this is how, he's not a self-made anything.
Right.
He's a trust fund baby. And because, look, I wish I was a trust fund baby. I would give anything to be a trust fund baby. I'm not knocking the trust fund baby. But when somebody says, how did this guy make all this money? He didn't. Here's the thing. He came out of the birth canal and he had money. That's all he did was this. That's it. That's what he did to make billions of dollars. Wow.
And the sports teams and the pro, I feel so bad for fans in this position. Not really Jets fans, because I hate that organization so much. But the fact of the matter is, guys like that treat these organizations like it's their toy. It's their own personal toy. I don't, I'll play with it. I'll mess around. I'll try to make myself look smarter than everybody. To hell with what the fans think. I don't care. But this is my toy. I get to play with it, and I get to do what I want with it. Not really any objective thought of how do we win games. It's who's the splashy name, what'll keep us in the headlines. Winning typically is not. And it's so funny too, because the Mayer family has done, for the most part, not lately, obviously, but I think that's a lot of personnel issue. But the Mayer family, right across the street, does it so much better. So much better. And there's nothing you can learn from that when you guys are right next to each other. It's crazy to me.
Yeah, I don't. And look, they haven't had their best run, but they still know what they're doing. I mean, They still know what they're doing.
Agreed.
It just doesn't work out sometimes.
No.
I think it's just so random. The NFL rids itself of Daniel Snyder finally. And then they're like, all right, good. We're in the clear. Nothing but of course, they've got that problem in Carolina. But, they're like, okay, well, we got rid of the really bad owner. Let's onward and up. Come on, man.
Yeah. It's one thing after another.
Yeah. Let's get all right, look, okay, finally, the guy who, is trying to pimp out cheerleaders and regularly just harassing and a terrible employer and is awful to the players and the coaches and everybody. He's gone. All right. Let's move on. Okay, guys. Anybody got opinions on oh no, Woody, shut up. Shut up, Woody, shut up. Shut up. No. All right, let's talk CFP here, Pierre. I'm very excited for this. because this is something that we as college football fans have earned for a long time, of getting an actual playoff, one that's real, one that, is inclusive, that shows off what's going on. And the conditions are right parity-wise for this to be better than it would have been, because I think a lot of people thought it doesn't matter what 12 teams you put in, the teams, the cream's going to rise to the top. Yeah, sure. But football's about availability and injuries, and sports are about, look, we've been doing this job long enough to where we've sat in rooms gone, there's no way that Team A can beat Team B. And then Team B also believes that, and Team A beats them. I've seen it. You and I sat next to each other in Jacksonville, Florida, watching Baylor blow a 20-point lead in about 3 minutes to Georgia State.
Yeah.
And going no way, right? This is like one of those things that's going to happen. There's not he would have to make 7 threes in a
I still will never forget that shot I will never forget that moment. It felt like it was happening in slow motion from RJ Hunter. I'll never forget that shot.
Yeah. And then you, me, and a couple other people went to the Jacksonville Hooters on the water.
We did.
And that place was sad. It was really.
Yes. We were all like, oh, man, our trip is cut short. I wanted to stay in Jacksonville for another couple of days.
Yeah. And then we were just like, all right, well, I guess we got to get on a flight tomorrow and leave.
Like we do.
And leave. And, not even the brave women at the Jacksonville Hooters could buoy our spirits.
No, not at all. Poor ladies.
That just tells you how confused we were about what just happened. We're like, hey, where are we gonna go eat tonight? And I think we literally asked somebody, was like, hey, what's close? It's like walking distance from here. And he's like, there's a Hooters right down that way. Yeah. And we're like, all right.
I was truly in a state of disbelief after that.
Yeah,
truly in a state of disbelief,
because we had to sit there and make flights and change them rapidly and figure out where we were going. And you're like, oh, you on this one? Where do you? Can we, figure this out? How many tickets are left on this one? We got to leave tomorrow. He's on the 8 o'clock. We're on the 12:30. That kind of a thing it was just nuts. But CFP is here. We've long earned it, and. We'll just go game by game. Friday night, Notre Dame in Indiana. It's going to be cold. It's going to be good old-fashioned Newt Rockne football weather there in South Bend. I think just atmosphere-wise, a Friday night December football game in South Bend, Indiana. I don't even care what happens in this game. I'm just thrilled it's happening.
Yeah. I think out of the 4 games, really. The funny thing is when the initial college football playoff field was set, and earlier in the season, you and I talked about this earlier in the season. Indiana, fun team, great story. I've enjoyed the ride. Let's have some fun. And then I kind of felt like of all the teams that made it in the top 12, I did the thing that probably a lot of people did. I said, okay, which team maybe do I feel like is undeserving is a strong word. But which team do I feel like if they were left out, I wouldn't bat an eyelash about? And yet I keep coming back to Indiana, for some reason. The resume is the resume. I understand it. With them going up against Notre Dame, what a matchup this is going to be in the state of Indiana. You and I talked earlier before the season. I was on the hook for calling Notre Dame completely overrated. When they lost to Northern Illinois, at home, it looked like the sky was falling for them, and they were going to be an afterthought, when it comes to the college football playoff. But they've rebounded nicely. I give them all the credit in the world for rebounding the way that they have. And yet, I even though I'm starting to look at Indiana and feel like I don't really think you should be here, I'm also looking at Notre Dame, and I'm thinking to myself, boy, a Friday night game in South Bend with Indiana coming to town, this is just a recipe for a potential disaster for the Irish. This game has all the makings of a wild one.
Yeah, I think so. I think Notre Dame probably ultimately wins because of that defense.
Yeah.
But you got 2 quarterbacks in Rourke and Leonard who have moxie, who are, who've been through it, man. They're veteran players. This is it for both of them, right? And so I think you're going to see a lot of that. And I really like reading a post that Riley Leonard made this week, and it was like just the passion which these two teams are attacking this should be a great game. I got Notre Dame in this one. I think it should be – I think it'll be close because Kurt Cignetti's too good of a coach, and Notre Dame does not have the kind of offense to run away from Indiana. Yeah. But I think Notre Dame ultimately wins because they've got more experience, at least recently, in moments like this. Marcus Freeman, I mean, he's about like, to me, like I just keep feeling like he's about to pop and Notre Dame's about to pop if he figures it out there. Because again, they lost one game to Northern Illinois, and it was, everybody's going to have a fluke game, and everybody tried to write them off this year. Now, look, they didn't have the hardest schedule in their history. Yeah, I was there. Like, all right, well, what's the next one they're going to lose? And then they just didn't. And they pretty much handled everybody on the way out, more or less. So we'll see how they do, as the schedule gets tougher. But I just like what Marcus Freeman's done there at Notre Dame and how their defense just knocks you around.
For the record, I'm with you. I think Notre Dame will win the game. However, if you're looking at the line, if that line, which I don't think it'll get to 7.5, if it gets to 7.5 for Indiana, I'm starting to, I would consider that. I would. Not at 7, though.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Clemson and Texas. I don't know how Clemson moves the ball on Texas's defense. I think the coaches are equal in skill. I think Sark's a little bit ahead of Dabo in the moment, but I don't think, like, if you went, coach for coach on the staff, it's probably about the same. They've got pretty good coaches all the way around. Texas, again, might be like, if we're talking about this, but talent-wise, Texas is better, especially on defense. And Clemson, to win games like this, they have to do what they did against SMU, which is jump out kind of surprisingly to a big lead. I don't think they can do – and look, they almost, like, if not for a miraculous kick return, they go to overtime against SMU, Right. So if not for that one thing that happened and then blowing that lead, they're not in this position, I don't think. And I think Texas should win this game, but I know Dabo in the postseason. And as a matter of fact, I was at that Cotton Bowl game when he beat Notre Dame. And he is at his best in these moments. So Sark and company are going to have their hands full.
I think when I'm looking at this game feels to me like it can be a game for a half. I feel like the first half it can be, like you said, if Clemson gets off to the races, in the first quarter and stays ahead of the sticks, with Texas, I think it could eventually turn into a full competitive game. I feel like Clemson, this could be an interesting score at the half. Like Clemson's like, oh, Clemson's in this game. But then I feel like you're right. I think Texas would have the ability in terms of talent, like you said, in terms of flipping the switch. I think that's where I think Texas has the advantage in terms of overall bully ball talent. I do like Texas in the game. The Horns seem to, at one point or another, you never know with them sometimes. I have trust issues with Texas, but I do think they win this game,
Yeah. The Happy Valley game is the other one I'm at least aesthetically looking forward to, because I think it's supposed to snow, right?
I believe
for Penn
it's
State.
Not going to snow. It's going to be very cold.
It's going to be very cold there. Maybe it's Columbus where it might get a little snow. I can't remember, but
we're getting snow right now. I can tell you that. I'm looking at it right now.
Pierre, look, you're like, that's not. Oh, in Minneapolis, it's snowing
in December?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Call Jim Cantori. Get him there right now.
I know. I love, especially on a sidebar, I love how we do this in the news business every winter and every summer. Oh, heat wave coming through like the Midwest. And snowstorm in December. I said, you mean for the 200th year in a row?
Yeah.
Like, that's weird. Weird.
Hi, Tom. I'm here standing in Minneapolis on December 20th. And it is awash in snow.
Yeah.
I know that you're all shocked back at Weather Channel headquarters that this is happening because we as meteorologists have to be surprised by the weather.
Exactly.
Even though we're the ones who tell you it's going to happen and then have to be surprised when it does.
Correct. God,
And
I can't think of a better summary.
and for that skill, we make twice as much, if not more, than the sports guy.
Yeah, that's I will neither confirm nor deny. Yeah.
Oh, listen, I'm the advocate. You know me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Look, he's not on the air anymore here anymore. I guess he retired. But the weatherman you had when you were here, I would routinely just send you long texts making fun of him to try to make you break on the air.
Again, neither confirm nor deny.
And it often didn't help that you guys were already laughing at him. So yeah, he seriously, he could be a character in an Anchorman movie.
No
he
doubt.
really could.
No doubt.
Absolutely. But Penn State SMU, we're biased in this studio because we like Rhett Lashley a lot. He's on our show all the time. I sent him a text after they won, or not won, after they got in the playoff. And because I was happy that they were able to prove it on the field where it matters, and it wasn't speculative that they got in. Plus, Lashley's on our show all the time. So I sent him a text. He said, thanks a lot. Talk to you soon. And I was like, okay, well, not that I wasn't already rooting for you, but now I'm double rooting for you because you were nice enough to return the text. And so I already don't I think James Franklin he's a good coach. He's not a great coach, and he's not accomplished anything great yet. And he is in that club of Dabo Swinney and Ryan Day where they're still that old school, I'm the coach, I know everything kind of a thing. And the vibe rubs me all wrong.
Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I think I want SMU to win this game. I think it's going to be really tough for them because Penn State's defense is so good, and they have a lot of veteran players. But would it surprise me to see SMU go in there and beat Penn State in a big moment? No, because Penn State doesn't do well in big moments.
And to that point too, this does feel like a game where, and I agree, it's a big moment, but this feels like a typical Penn State game. Oh, okay, you beat the team that you're supposed to beat at home. You beat the team that's probably just a notch below you. You've been doing that, all throughout the James Franklin era in the Big Ten, but you can't hit Ohio State or Michigan when Michigan is good. You're not able to beat them. This is a game that just screams, okay, Penn State will probably win this game. And how am I supposed to feel about that? Am I supposed to be like, oh, watch out for Penn State the rest of the way? I'm just going to shrug my shoulders and be like, yeah, okay. They beat SMU at home, who they probably should have beat in the first place. But call me if they make it to the semifinals, or call me when they beat, like you said, someone in a big time moment. I'm not gonna buy it. If Penn State wins this game, I'm not gonna fall for this trap. I'm just not.
And look, they've got the best path because if they win this one, they get Boise State.
Right.
But look, I mean, am I confident that they're going to stop Ashton Genty? No.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. So if they do win this game, am I confident that this big defense isn't going to play really well and SMU's defense is going to play really well, but SMU wins in the end? I'm not going to say, nothing's going to surprise me. I'm leaning Penn State, just in my brain, but in my heart, I think SMU's got this here.
You think so? Yeah.
I don't know. And here's the thing. There's something about the way that, here's the difference. James Franklin, in this moment, has got way more to lose than Rhett Lashley. They're already playing with house money. And Rhett Lashley coaches a lot. Now, I know if you watched him on the sideline, you wouldn't think this, but he coaches a lot more free and easy than James Franklin does. It's, James Franklin's trying to, constantly conduct a symphony, right? And, he can hear, the strings are off, and it gets in his head. As where Rhett Lashley, dude, they're a jam band. They're just hey, man, you guys know Simple Man by Leonard Skinner? Yeah, let's do it. That's just how he is. And I think that works for what SMU is right now. And they've got a lot of talent. They went and got talent from places schools like Penn State, and guys who were not getting the opportunity, they're there. They're guys who can play on that level, and we're playing on that level. They just weren't starting yet on that level and are at SMU contributing.
Yeah. I just took a peek at the forecast in Happy Valley. It looks like it's going to be. We might get some light snow Saturday morning, but it doesn't look like there's a strong chance of snow the rest of the way. But it's going to be cold. I think the high that day is only going to be 27. So it's going to be a cold one for both these teams.
And look, and when it comes down to that, the team full of guys who've been practicing and playing most of their time here in Texas, that's a disadvantage.
Yeah, it is.
We don't do well. We don't. But you never know, man. You just never know. You know, it's a disadvantage for both teams. Like, it's the same. Everybody's playing in the weather. Who can deal with it and cope with it? Like, that can be a big advantage. Pierre, I know you got to go, so let's talk about this last one. I am picking Tennessee to beat Ohio State.
Okay.
Because I think Ryan Day wants it to be over.
You do?
I think he wants it to be over. I think that no good deed goes unpunished with him.
Okay.
Because of the Michigan thing. And he would have to win the national title. Something that that team is very well capable of doing, because Michigan's not playing in this. Now, Oregon is, and they already lost them, but by 1 point. And they're very capable of doing this, but they have a ton of injuries on the offensive line, new center, new tackles. Like, nothing has gone right for them as far as that goes, which means they're not as good at running the ball with two really good running backs in Henderson and Judkins. So I think Tennessee goes in and wins this game in Columbus, and then Ryan Day is the offensive coordinator of the Bears or something next year. I think, we talked to Matt Brown from Extra Points this week. He's an Ohio State grad, and he said it would not shock me if Ohio State and Ryan Day come to the mutual decision that he is ready for the NFL, and he's doing something like that.
Yeah, that would certainly be an interesting move up to the pros for him, no doubt about it. I don't know if I'm ready to go that far yet. I know you bring up a great point with the offensive line. I understand for sure. And that will absolutely wreck a team. People don't understand how much that really throws off your offense if your offensive line is just not set and not intact and you've got new guys coming in. But this is the hardest one for me. Ohio State, I feel like Ohio State should win this game, but I can't get the taste of their loss against Michigan out of my mouth. It was kind of like, okay, you go into Oregon, you lose by 1. There's no shame in that. I mean, they're the number 1 team in the country. You had a chance to win the game. It just didn't work out for you. I can live with that. At home against Michigan, given the way Michigan's team was all season long, and you lose that game at home, I looked at them and I was like, it's one of those, I guess if you had a child and he got arrested unexpectedly and you go pick him up from jail and you look at them and you're like, who even are you anymore? I don't know. I don't even know what to do with you. That's how I feel about Ohio State right now after that Michigan game. I feel exactly that same way. Who even are you to me? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know anymore.
Yeah, no. And so I'm picking Nico Amaliava, Josh Heupel, Dylan Sampson. I'm picking the Volunteers to go in there and put Ryan Day out of his misery.
That's a bold. Yeah, that's a bold pick, but I like it.
That's my pick, Ryan Day out of his misery. Now, Pierre, you have to leave early and go to a meeting. So we've decided that means we're going to end the show early because we can't start the show with you and then finish without you. Like, that's anticlimactic.
Well, I'm sorry for the viewers. I apologize for that. That will not happen again, hopefully. But I'm sorry that we're ending early.
But Merry Christmas, my friend. Happy New Year. We will see you after the holidays because we're gone for the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
You will not be able to find me unless you're in a distillery in Nashville, Tennessee.
Well, I hope that for you. But I was going to say, feel free to check in with me in Charlotte, North Carolina at the Duke's Mayo Bowl at some point too. Like, feel free to give me a call. So,
yeah, we might need to do just a little quick hit.
If we can find a time, I'm sure we could try to make a time happen for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Duke's Mayo. That's one of the ones I've always wanted to go to. Yeah, absolutely. And see how much free mayonnaise you can get.
I hear it's actually high quality mayonnaise, so
it's very good. It's very good.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's very good
I can't
mayonnaise.
wait to try it.
Yeah, it's good. It's good mayo. And look, this face knows mayonnaise. All right.
Also, I will gladly report back the whatever Carolina barbecue place I stumble into.
Whole hog, buddy. Whole hog. Yeah.
Is that you're gonna? I've never been to Charlotte.
No, they cook that's their thing. They cook the whole hog on the barbecue.
Okay.
They take a pig and they just saw it in half. And they put one side on the top and one side on the bottom and smoke them for like 12 hours. And then it just falls apart and they sauce it up. Yeah. You're going to get some good stuff there, buddy.
I'm going to report back. I promise you.
You need to do a story on it. Just do a story like, yeah.
You don't have to twist. You don't have to twist my arm.
You see this, Minnesota?
Yeah.
This is a whole pig.
Yep.
I'm going to eat my share of it.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Yes. Yeah. I can't wait to do it.
Yeah. Pierre Noujaim, Fox 9 Minneapolis. That's going to do it for us. And look, happy holidays, Merry Christmas to all of you who watch the show. We still have the real show. I was called the sideshow yesterday by Clint Moses. By the way, congratulations on Malik Murphy, by the way.
Yeah, weird.
Yeah, weird. We're trying to figure out where Duke to Oregon State, is that like a lateral move or where it is?
It doesn't feel lateral to me.
It doesn't. I mean, to each their own. It just, at least conference-wise, it's not. So, we'll see. I don't know. Oregon State's been wildly more successful than Duke over their history. I don't know about wildly, but more successful, I would say. Maybe. I don't know.
It's debatable. I think the current landscape and where Oregon State sits right now, you can't say that's not a downgrade.
Yeah. But you guys are going to love the show today. Smokey interviewed Barry Odom this morning. It was too early for me to participate. Now, I was there recording it, but I was not in a state of mind to ask questions. Like, it was just like, I would have been like, so, Coach, how do you like your eggs? I know we've talked many times, but I really... You the juice guy? Juice?
Big juice guy.
Yeah, that's what would come out of my mouth. We got Barry Odom and Smokey. It was a really, really good interview. We have Phil Longo is going to be live with us, new Sam Houston State coach, well-traveled in his coaching career. Mm-hmm. And I say that because he's well-traveled because he's in demand.
Yep.
Not like well-traveled because the guy gets fired he's well-traveled. He's got a lot of stories. Phil Longo, he's been a lot of places, and he's the new head coach at Sam Houston State, plus Sam Kahn, Max Olson, Craig's off the radar, Mickey Spagnola, my top five. The nice list today. We're being nice. We're giving out nice things. No lumps of coal. And then tomorrow on the top five, the definitive reasons why Die Hard is a Christmas movie. So that's a very special treat for the holidays for me and for you. But tomorrow's top five, I encourage you to share it along if you're a person who shares that with me. Or if you'd like to debate me on it, I will debate you. Because I really think with the points I made were very, very emphatic.
You laid it out nicely.
I laid it out nicely, and I would like to see somebody try to combat those points with me. If you want to argue with me that it's not a Christmas movie because, it's an action movie that just happened to take place at Christmas, that's not where we're going to talk. What we're going to talk about is, I've made my points. You must now make counterpoints to those points.
They have to debunk you.
You have to debunk me. I don't think you can, because believe me, I spent way more time thinking about this than a human being should. Bottom line. That's going to do it for us. We'll see you in an hour or so on 365 Sports. Thanks for watching. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Fantasy sports